Alright, we're going to step you through how to do the reverse camera into the factory screen for the 2014-2015 Toyota Hiluxes. This is going to be your DIY guide. This unit, it is for this silver unit, okay? Whichever vehicle has one that looks like this. They actually did start in September 2013, so you could be a 2013 model Hilux. So as long as it's got this stereo, then this is going to work. So first up, non-marring pry bar, or you can use your fingernails, and you're just going to pop this cover off, okay? So it just pulls forward. Very simple, very easy to do. And just watch any plastics here. This guy's got a phone kit. Now this one here, you don't want to undo any of these clips because it's very hard. It's got these AC controls, so don't do that. So just lean it back. You can pull the cables a little bit, but don't break anything, okay? There is a plug here you can loosen if you want to get a bit more room. We have a plastic cover to protect the actual panels on the dash. There is 4 bolts, 2 on each side, top and bottom, each side. So you can see there on the left, it corresponds on the right. They're a 10mm bolt or a Phillips head screwdriver, and you can just undo those. Make sure you don't drop them. They're an aluminium alloy, so they're really not very magnetic at all. So just be careful when you undo them. You don't want to drop them into the dash, you'll lose them. I find the easiest way is just to undo them, and then I put my fingers on them as I pull the stereo out. So either side you can pull the stereo forward, and then you can pull the bolts out. So as you can see, a couple of seconds really to get the stereo out is not too hard. There we go, move it forward. Now once you get to the back of the stereo, this is going to be the simple part. We actually connect to, we have this plug in the kit. Hang on, I'll grab it for you. Here it is in my pocket. You can lean that forward. Now this is the plug that you're going to have in the kit, our camera kit. So this is the TCK Hilux 2014 kit. This is for your reverse camera signal input. This is the input into the radio, and the 4-pin connector connects to that. It will only go in one position. I think it's this top left one, this one here, top left, as you're looking at the back of the stereo, and that essentially just clips in. And what we're going to do quickly is going to run the cable from the back to the rear for the camera. We're going to show you where we've run it, and you can do that yourselves in your own time. We're going to show you that come up here and how to connect that as well. So just give me 1 second, we'll do that. So we've run it from front to rear. We're going to show you where we run that just at the end here, but this is the camera signal that comes from the rear, and this is what's going to power the camera. And we run it up through the kick panel and around the bottom and hide it under the carpet essentially. And what we do is we pull all that off. These 2 panels, they just clip off. There's one little lug on the left hand side of the kick panel, and you pop them off and run it underneath. And then we're going to run up under the glove box. You can stick your hand from up the top here in behind the stereo, and you can actually reach down and grab it, and it's not that hard to do. So let's have a look here. So there you go. You pull it up, and you can tie that up nice and neat. You can hide it away under there, so we'll hide that a little bit later. And now what you're going to do, that will plug into the RCA connector, or the signal composite connector. I like to put a bit of tape around it so it doesn't ever come loose when anyone else touches the stereo. It's actually connected. Alright, so that's nice and neat. And this red cable coming out of the yellow plug is going to go to accessory power. It does not go to the reverse light power, accessory power, because it needs power before the stereo turns on. There is already a reverse trigger signal in the other plug that goes into the stereo. Now where this is going to connect to get accessory power, sorry, we'll just clip that off there. The accessory power in the bottom left corner of the stereo. Now I'm going to get a knife quickly and I'll show you how to do that. Okay guys, got a knife, sorry. What you're going to do, bottom left hand corner, this plug here, there is a grey wire. You're going to strip back this black sheathing. Going to cut that back a little bit. Just be careful, cut with the grain if you're going to cut wires, just so you don't short across wires. Alright, you're going to strip that back, and you're going to get the grey wire. Is the second pin in from the top left next to the blue wire. This grey one here. And we give you a connector to clip onto there, but I recommend soldering. So we're going to strip this back. We're going to use wire strippers. Okay. And that red wire is going to solder onto there. Now do all this with your stereo off, because this, if you have your stereo on or your key on, will have power. So connect that. We're going to quickly solder that and then tape it up, and then we can pack all that back up, and it's as simple as plug it in, push it all back in, and put the bolts back on. Out of back. Alright guys, so we packed it all up, that's it there. We're going to turn the stereo on. Now it's important that you have the camera at the rear plugged in, mounted, and the signal going, because when this boots up for the first time, it actually loads into a mode that allow the reverse camera to work, okay? So it's important it's all plugged in first. Now we just put in reverse, automatically comes up. We can adjust the angle on that camera to completely adjustable, so we'll move it down to see a bit of the tub there. These guidelines are completely optional. You can turn them on or off. Very high quality camera, and the reason we use our camera, it's designed to stay on all the time, and as soon as you turn the car on, it's technically on, and it's just the screen that changes the image, okay? So that's why it's important you get a high quality camera, not a cheap camera, otherwise it's going to burn out and you'll be buying them all the time anyway. We'll quickly show you how we mounted it on this. Is a tub vehicle and where we ran it. Alright guys, this is on the tub, so this is near your number plate. We've got the camera mounted up here behind the number plate. You can actually get a bit of length. If you take these covers off, you can move it a little bit lower, but this has got the number plate cover. It screws up here to the right or the left, whichever you prefer. Run the cables, which we give you conduit to run them. So conduit to cover up the cables, run it out behind, and run it along the railings underneath. And there's a chassis rail, you can see all the factory cables, and we run it along and tie it up with the cable ties. You're going to run that all the way to the front. Okay, you want to pull the number plate off to be able to do that as well. So it's just 2 screws on the number plate, very easy, just pull that off, makes it much easier. And we'll follow around to the left of the car here. So you would run it all the way to the front. And just here, so if you zoom out a bit, Dave, let's go here. Just here on the back of the passenger side or the driver's side is where you're running it to, because just under on the chassis rail, above the chassis rail, there's a little rubber grommet. Okay, we can't show you because there's no light under there, but you can basically punch a little hole through there or nip a little hole with a knife, push it through, it self-seals because it is rubber, it will seal itself up, making it waterproof, and pop this cover off here, and these just simply pull up. Just give them a bit of a jiggle. They simply pull up, and the cables will come out under this black paneling. So you lift that paneling up, okay, and underneath there are the cables. It'll come out just under the seat, pull them out, run it through the bottom there. And that's as simple as that, guys, and then just return it back to normal.